All right, welcome to another episode of the KAWmedy Krow Podcast, episode 14. Our special guest today is Kellz Barksdale.
Yeah.
How are you?
Kellz Barksdale, man. Yeah, I'm good, man.
I'm Christopher Keith Tyler, CKT, and here's the lovely and wonderful, beautiful love of my life, wife, Amy Quirk, everybody. Give it up.
It's always awkward in the beginning.
Yeah.
I like that intro, though. I'm like, dang, I wish I could have been the beautiful love of somebody's life.
I'm very thankful.
I just realized I got to turn my ringtone off. There we go. Sorry about that. Anyways, Kellz, welcome to the show. Yeah, we're all about, just talking about how we met and how you started in comedy and
Okay.
How long have you been doing stand up?
Oh my God, almost 12 years.
12 years.
12 years in comedy. Yeah.
I was wondering because I've seen your posts and they are very business savvy. Like the descriptions it's very well done. Much respect.
Appreciate that, man. It's funny because sometimes I'll go back and look at the posts that when I first started, and I'm like, man, I got to archive these because people are gonna be like, oh, he's old in this game. He's not famous yet, but no, it takes a long time. But yeah, no.
Yeah, you do a great job. You're hustling, you're all over the place. May we ask, when did you how did you get into doing stand up?
Yeah, so let's go before stand up. Before stand up, I didn't even know I was funny until college. So when I got to college, my friends wanted to do skits and things like that. And one of the skits that they wanted to do was a making the band thing. And they were like, we need somebody to be Diddy. And that doesn't age well. It's not aging well right now.
No.
And sadly, I did really good being Diddy. I don't know what that means, but yeah.
So when you're
I have
good,
questions for sure.
I
got questions too. I'm not that kid no more.
when you're good at Diddy, that means you didn't Diddy anybody. You were a professional. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll say that, right? There's no accusations and nothing against me. No, but so I did that role and it was pretty funny on campus, and that was our first video. Then after that, we did what was called a dunk contest. So when somebody walks under a overpass or something, we'd jump up and dunk, and we did interviews and stuff. My interview was the funniest, and then my dunk was the funniest. And people were like, why haven't you tried stand up? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't know you could just sign up for stand up and do it.
Yeah.
And then immediately 3 years later, I decided to try stand up and loved it.
So it took you 3 years to get to the point where you're like, I'm going to do this.
Yeah. It's because it's scary.
It's scary.
Yeah. What was the first show? Did you do a bar or a class or club?
Yeah. So it was an open mic on college campus, and I had a night job. And I was like, well, I have to call out for this because it's on a Tuesday. And I was telling people at work, I was like, oh, I'm a comedian. And they're like, yeah, how long you been doing it? I'm like, I've been doing it. Right? So the last one of the year, I was like, all right, I have to do it. It's now or never, or I can't say it anymore. And so I called out that night and did it. And I'm sure every comedian, I know you're a comedian. You're also a comedian?
I'm not.
Okay. All right. You just are around us.
Make him laugh.
Yeah,
Okay.
She's the ghost writer and she's a musician.
Wives do that. Wives are really good at knowing you're funny. But before I get to that though, that last open mic, I did it, and it's like a drug, making people laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, all right, I got to do this. I know it's what I want to do. I don't want to be an accountant anymore. I want to be a comedian. And this is the life that I've chosen.
Nice.
The life that chose me.
How was the first? Did you do 5, 3? What was it?
So I did 5 minutes. Bulletproof memorization. I couldn't mess it up. And the funny thing was, I was standing behind a podium in a library, and I was so nervous. I remember shaking, and thank God I memorized it so well, and I didn't have to pick up notes or anything.
Right.
And I'm doing all that, and it ended up working. It was good. It was a good set.
That's badass, dude.
Yeah.
My first Amy was at my first time. I took a workshop class in Santa Monica. I was scared.
The classes.
Yeah. And then my teacher hated me. He didn't think I was cut out for stand up, and
But he actually told him he wasn't.
yeah, he's like, you shouldn't be doing this. And
Probably some guy that's been doing it for 35 years and nobody knows his name and outside of the comedy community. Yeah, he's telling you you're not cut out for it. I get it.
Yeah, he also said at the beginning of the class, he's like, everybody, just want to give you a heads up. Much respect that you guys want to do this because I've never set foot on a stage, but I've worked in the industry, so I know how I know the business end, and I know what they're looking for.
How much did you pay for this class?
$300.
Jesus Christ. He's out here getting people.
Yeah. Yeah, I drove all the way to Santa Monica and did that. And it was like 5 Sundays. And then the 5th Sunday, I got 7 minutes at the Hollywood Improv. So that's how it was a bringer show. And like,
of course it was.
Yeah, but it was packed.
And then he got paid for the people. These festivals and bringer shows, they're making the money, man. I don't have it in my heart to be that nefarious, but props to them for being that nefarious and making a bag.
Yeah. Tell us about, wait, real quick. What do you mean by festivals? I've never heard this before.
So there's some, I'm not going to put any festivals out there, but there's some festivals where like there's not like a big grand prize. Mm-hmm. It's just that, yeah, you get to come there.
You're getting stage time as pay.
Yeah, and
you're welcome.
Yeah, and you could maybe get booked by that club that you're performing in.
Right.
Again, I'm not saying any one festival. I love festivals.
Yeah,
but yeah, they get the money from the comedians paying what $50-$60, and then
that's a different type of because we have a festival and we pay our comics. Yeah, we don't do.
Oh no, there's some very good ones. There's some great ones.
Ours is the best.
Yeah. Shout out to you guys. Yours is this month, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
We're
the
super excited.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how many festivals have you been in?
Oh, I haven't done a lot. I want to say probably 4 nationwide ones.
Cool. And you were happy with all of them, or
some of them?
Okay.
One of them was pretty weird. Sure, I'll tell the story.
Yeah.
I was in Vegas, right? And if you want to connect the dots, truth seekers, connect the dots. But I was in Vegas, and I was in a semifinal round and came in first place. And then everybody in the other nights was like, "Oh yeah, it's not gonna be close." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So the next round, I ended up not making it through because I did a joke that knocked over the mic stand, and one of the judges is like, "I'm a mic stand comedian," so that bothered me to see that. Like, so we had to dock some points off, and I'm like, "What?
Mic stand abuse?"
He's like, if I was following you on tour, I was like, you would die. But yeah, no. All jokes aside, like, yeah, that was why I didn't advance, because I knocked over a mic stand in one of my jokes.
Like, not as an accident, like part of the routine?
Part of the joke. Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
That's
on carpet. It wasn't like it hit the ground hard or nothing like that.
And now, what would be like in hypothetical? What would be your like ideal festival? Like, what would you?
So, all right, let's do this. So, an ideal festival would be one that, they do. You got to have a submission fee because you got to watch the videos. Nothing over $30. More than 30 is kind of crazy because it's like I paid $40, didn't get into the festival.
Dang.
Didn't even get into the festival. You paid $45.
Yeah, that's nasty work. So like 30, it's like fine.
Not even like here's a ticket, enjoy, have some cotton candy or something.
No, but like anything over 30 is kind of crazy. Yeah. Something where they provide lodging. Paying admission, lodging, and flight is kind of crazy. It's like, what are we doing here? We got to go on like a vacation to do comedy. Something with a grand prize is cool. at least first, second,
Yeah.
and then something where they like give you your video at the end.
Oh, like the entire show?
Yeah,
Or
whatever
no, or
whatever
your-
set you did. Yeah,
Your set.
Oh, it's just your
Yeah.
set. Okay.
yeah. So if like you're not if you're not getting your set and you're paying $40 and you're not getting like it's just that it becomes a scam after
Right.
a while. But yeah, if you're getting something back in return, not just like networking, because you can go to comedy clubs and network, you could go to open mics and network, but like, you know, you're seeing that's pre-equipped in a festival.
And how long is your stage time in this hypothetical? Like, what would you be what would you be down for?
Oh, at least you got to do 2 shows. You got to do 2 shows of 10 minutes.
Okay.
At minimum, you know, so
Yeah.
it gives you a chance to showcase
Yeah.
in different atmospheres. Like I did a festival, and we got to do two different showcases. And what they wanted to do was they wanted to have you go early in one show at least,
Yeah.
and late in another one. So like you may be the last person to showcase or second in the other one. So it's like it gets you to see like how you open a show and how you close the show.
Nice. Okay. Dang, dude.
That's very thought
yeah,
out.
very cool. I like the flight and airfare and lodging. Like, dude,
Well,
That'd be cool.
That'd be
Lodging at
sweet.
least. Like
Yeah.
if you can do airfare and lodging for all your comedians, that's a major key, major plus. But like at least lodging.
now 1 day, 2 day festival. Like what
Probably 3, 4.
3, 4? Dang. Like okay, like a.
Because then
Those
it gives
are
you
huge
a couple different.
festivals. It's like
How many
Yeah.
How many
Woodstock.
hours on one day?
I don't know. So like you're thinking like industry panels and things like that. That's tough. That's at discretion. That's a lot. Like I never really thought about putting a festival together.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a good one. So like how long are the festival days? I don't know. I think like 4 or 5 hours. Do you count? What do we count the after dinner and the after parties and stuff like that?
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm thinking like stage time, like because ours is 3 to 9:30 p.m. So it
well,
goes.
we're not, like a 3-day festival.
Right,
one
we're
day,
not
right?
just a 1 day.
It's
Yeah,
just
just a
one
1 day.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second
Yeah. Year
festival, 3
Yeah.
people are doing. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
I mean that's still cool though. It gives you guys like you guys are growing. It's not like a lot of people think like, oh, my first festival should be. I don't even know festivals anymore, but like
Yeah.
I'm thinking like comedy and music. Should be Coachella. It's like no,
Right.
it shouldn't be all that. But like
Yeah.
no, it's something where comedians can get something back for it. And you said you guys pay people and things like that, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're local.
I think we could do a pop-up tent for 11 grand to somebody who wants to spend 11 grand on a pop-up like Coachella style.
Oh, Coachella. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's what they're doing now at the Coachella.
Yeah, they are 11 grand.
11 grand for a pop-up tent.
I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. Now that they have
Networking.
the clout and the expertise and the name backing with the celebrities, yeah, you could do it.
Yeah, ours will be like KAWmedy Krow nests. There'll be nests.
It'll be a little nest that looks like sticks and
Yeah.
twigs. I like that.
Yeah, it'll be
Sounds
a-
so comfy.
Yeah, a smart nest. Yeah, it'll be cool. Where do you have any big things coming up?
Yeah, so I produce my showcase. It's called Joke and Word. Because I do comedy and I mix spoken word with it. So I'll take one poet, not including myself, actually 2 poets, not including myself, and then pair them with 3 comedians. Because I like how poetry crowds are. When I started comedy, I was doing poetry showcases and I was doing comedy in them. I didn't know any better. I didn't know about like going to like comedy open mics and all that. So I was working out with poets. And the thing about poetry crowds that a lot of comedians should go to, one, it's not a bunch of comedians telling dick jokes and Tinder jokes and, like those type of jokes. The crowd is actually listening. They're listening to every word.
They're more into the art.
They want to hear what you're saying. So like the poetry, they have an ear for it. So now I'm getting that type of fan to come to a comedy show. And my favorite type of comedians are the ones that are writing and just saying like things that I'm like, wow, never thought about that. Carlin's, yeah. Carlin's Earthquakes of the world, like just people that are just like, man, where did you come up with that thought? Those people,
Yeah.
and then you pair
Intellectual
those,
comedy.
yeah, and then you pair those with a poetry audience, and like they get it. So that's
cool.
that's the vision. Yeah.
Yeah. I have never done a poetry / comedy show. It does oddly remind me of like when I would go do a music open mic. And then like they welcome comics, and so like a lot of the musicians and the people who are there for music, they're like, oh, what's this? Like,
Yeah. So I've done music mics too. Those either go really good or really left because people aren't there to focus. Other people are there like, oh, we appreciate something different, so let's sit down and listen.
yeah.
So it can go one or two ways. So I get exactly what you're talking about there.
Like if you do a music open mic at like a bar with the pool tables or something, if you get the place just quiet, you're killing. If they're like not playing pool and they're watching, you're like, you're doing really well. If you get some chuckles, even better. But most of the time, they're just like, you just want them to be engaged.
Yeah. I mean, I don't laugh at everything, but I'm entertained.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to laugh. That's, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the audience members that scare comedians. Where you're doing your jokes and there's just that one person just smiling in the front row. It's like, please make a noise.
Yeah. You know, but you can apply that same thought process
Right.
that, you know, as long as they're not like talking, looking away, they're
On their
staring right
phone.
at you. And it sucks. It does suck because the light can be kind of bright. So it's kind of hard to look at someone in the eyes. Just depends on the stage, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, we like that. Like, I mean, after a while, you get to a point where you're like, okay, as long as they're listening, I'm fine. Because I may not have gotten to the punchline yet. They're giving me time to set up. Like, it's fine. But I know a lot of comedians, they get scared when they just see somebody smiling and not, laughing.
No, my very first time performing at that Hollywood Improv, there like the lights were so bright, and I had never even been on, like, even in the class, we didn't even have a microphone. Like I had never even performed on a microphone, and I'm up there on the stage, and like
How much was it again?
$300 $300
exactly
back.
what I was thinking.
It was 2000.
No stage presence?
Yeah,
Like
2009,
key.
$300. So now it'd be like what, $1,000, but
Inflation.
yeah, massive inflation. But there was a guy in the front row who was that classic weird. It was a bald white guy with his arms crossed, and he's just like snarling at me. And I could hear laughter, but I just see one angry guy sitting in the front row. And he showed up early too, and he was like, "I want to sit in the front row," and that was like his thing.
There's always one of those every so often.
Yeah.
The I want to speak to the manager white guy.
Yeah.
What did we call them? Gregs?
What?
We call him Greg's.
Yeah.
Gregs?
The male Karen.
Oh yeah.
What was
yeah.
it?
It was like Craig and
Craig.
Yeah, Craig.
Craig and Karen.
Karen. Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, the angry yelpers. I enjoy like one of my favorite like encounters was I did a show with Stephen Briggs years ago at the Cove in Marietta, and I opened, and I used to do this like it was a granny song, this rap song that I do where I'm I specify that grandmas or older people don't get enough attention and they deserve more respect, so I'm going to give them extra attention by
So
like,
giving them bars.
yeah, but I'm like, but it's very sexual content, and it's fun, and it was a good bit. And after the show, and then after Steven does it, and he's a dirty comic, and like at the time he was, and then the show's over, and then this like 15-year-old kid with like a 15-year-old mustache comes up to me, and he's like, "Hey man, what you said tonight offended my family. It's my grandma's 80th birthday, and what you said was inappropriate. I want you to go over to her and apologize." And I'm like, "No, I'm not going to apologize. For one, I didn't know she was here. And number two, I wasn't singing at her.
And number three, I didn't know you were here.
You're right.
Like,
Yeah, I'm like,
you don't got school,
yeah.
kid.
I'm like, if you listen to the lyrics, I was complimenting your grandma. You should give her more attention." And I'm like, get out of here. And that was like the one where I was like, no, dude. Like,
Put your foot down. I
Good.
respect it. Yeah.
No, I didn't do anything wrong.
Don't bully
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. So
There's always one.
Yeah. There's always one
Always.
person where they want to
Yeah, they
talk
groomed
to you.
him to be a Kevin. I mean, what do you call him? A
Craig.
Craig?
Oh,
My
yeah.
fault. Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin's good too, but I think I like Craig.
Yeah, no, because there's cool Kevins.
Yeah.
And there's cool Craigs.
I don't know.
Shout out to all the cool Craigs out there.
Shout out you cool Craigs out there.
Cool Craig.
We got a Craigslist. Oh, that was terrible.
Dude, that's crazy you mentioned. Oh no, it's Kelly Blue Book. I was gonna say it was Craigslist, but it's not. My family is they're my aunt, great aunt, and uncle that started Kelly Blue Book. I was thinking of Craigslist. Sorry, that is totally off topic.
Yeah,
I
they're
didn't-
way different.
Yeah.
They're books.
Yeah.
No, they're not books.
And then there's Megan's Law. That's another
Christ.
another lineup. Yeah, Craigslist, Kelly's Blue Book, and then Megan's Law.
As long as they don't have a Kellz something.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, let's move into our segment. I think this has been a lot of fun. Thank you for being on the show, by the way.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
So we're gonna enter the KAWmedy KAWspiracy segment. KAWspiracy. We don't have KAWmedy Krow. He's in the car right now, so we got his partner in crime. KAWmedy Krow's brother-in-law. Yeah, what's up? Okay. Yeah. He's
Never
just-
knew his voice was like that.
Yeah. So tell us on for conspiracy. We were chatting. What was it that we were going over? It was
Yeah.
the shed, the time traveler
The
guy.
time traveling
Whoa.
shed guy.
Yeah.
I don't know this one.
Yeah.
Please explain.
Okay.
And to the audience.
Yeah. So on TikTok, there was a guy that was saying he got a notification on his Ring camera. And when he looked at the Ring camera, there was a guy walking around his backyard. And he's like, what the heck? Like, who is this guy? So he watched him for a little bit. And then he's got the courage to go outside and like, hey, what are you doing in my backyard? But when he got outside, the guy had already walked into a shed. Right?
Into the shed.
And yeah,
Into his shed.
His shed in the backyard.
Okay.
So he calls the cops. The cops get there and he's watching the Ring camera the whole time. The guy never comes out the shed. The cops go into the shed and nobody's in there. They're like, what is this, a prank? And he's like, bro, I swear there was a guy in my backyard that went into the shed. You sure there's nobody in there? So a couple days later, about 3-4 days, that somebody similar looking but older comes out that shed and walks away. And then that old guy comes in again and walks in, and yeah. So there's a guy that keeps going into a shed, which is
That's very scary. But I do have a question.
Yeah.
So if it's on your Ring, isn't it already recording? Couldn't he have shown the cop?
and that's what I asked too, because I was like, why didn't he just show them the Ring camera? But he showed TikTok the the video and the pictures of the guy. And there's two theories about who that guy is.
Oh, okay.
So there's one that a guy that died in 2018?
I don't remember the date exactly, but
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's 2018 or 2019 he died, and they had a wake where they don't see the body,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
His family, and he's like, I want to, reach out to them, but and this was another funny thing. He's like, I live in Pennsylvania and they're in New Jersey, and I hate New Jersey, and like me being from New Jersey, I'm like, we don't like y'all either. You're not even from Philly, like you're from some weird place in Pennsylvania. So.
Portsmouth.
Oh, you guys are
My father grew up in Pennsylvania.
okay? Pottstown, probably.
Portsmouth?
That's Virginia.
Portsmouth? No.
No.
Then it's not. It sounds
It's close.
it's close. Sorry.
It's
That's
like
all right.
there's like Marietta, Georgia, and then Marietta, California. So,
Yeah.
there's always like
There could be Portsmouth, Pennsylvania, I guess.
Portsmouth. It's something.
It's not Pottstown or
No.
Pottsville?
I would totally recognize if I heard it.
This is one of those moments where we need to
Poconos?
like contact your dad on the phone right now. Call him up right now. We have him on the line.
Somebody watching this podcast right now that's like, you know what? I am from Portsmouth, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Wrong.
17117 zip code. But back to the time traveler. So some guy had died, so they thought it was him. Or people in the comment section was like, nah, that looks like Stephen King. The guy that makes the weird,
Movies.
novels and stuff. Yeah. So they're like, then people started putting two and two together and was like, well, he had a
He's not dead.
he had a book talking about a shed time machine or something like that.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm wondering if anyone's like buying up all the same shed. Like people are looking at this.
They're on Amazon.
Yeah, there's got to be like a little portal inside these sheds.
Tough sheds.
Yeah.
Tough sheds.
Yeah, that's what happened. The guy
Built
went in.
shed
The
tough.
guy went in soft and came out hard. Like
Wow.
tough. Not that kind of hard. Yeah, he's all weathered now. Yeah, he went in there.
Oh, I get it now.
Yeah,
Okay.
tough shit. That's cool. I'm all for like loopholes in time travel and like, but I'm also like I have friends and family that will send me videos and they're like, check out the size of this bat, and I'm like, dude, it's perspective. That is not a huge bat. It's just closer into the foreground.
Camera,
Yeah, but people want to believe so bad. I'm like, just read the comments. Usually you can find the truth in the comments. The comments.
Comment sections are goated. Another thing that they were saying, they were like, this guy had been studying, so not Stephen King, obviously, but the other guy that died, he was studying quantum physics and how to time travel. Like he had a lot of documented notes about it.
So the guy that died is perhaps a physicist, and so the gentleman that was watching this guy, his house, his shed, so he found out who this guy was for sure.
Yeah, well, he thinks it's that guy, but he didn't go up to him and be like, hey, man, who are you?
Or like go in the shed.
I mean, he's gone in his shed.
Yeah, I want to find this shed. There needs to
wanna
be
find
like
the
an
portal, man.
investigation.
It's in Pennsylvania, and that seems like the perfect place for a time machine.
Why?
Because it's just a weird.
No one
no.
wants to go
Sorry,
there.
it was in Florida.
Florida.
It was in Florida. Which,
Oh yeah, no one wants to go there.
Yeah.
In what world is Pennsylvania a better place than Florida?
It's not.
So he said something about Pennsylvania where he's like, oh, well, I got family up there and they're in Jersey, or he's from Pennsylvania, but the shed is in Florida. And because there were people like, oh, the Fountain of Youth. They found the Fountain of Youth. I'm like, okay, Ponce de Leon.
That humidity will do numbers. I mean, if it's humid enough, you go in a shed, you're going to come out looking different.
Years later. Yeah. He might come out years later.
Yeah. Dude, it oddly reminds me of like that movie where they're, oh, shoot. It's like Airbnb, but it's called
Hot Tub Time
Barbarian.
Machine? Oh, okay.
Barbarian. Have you seen that?
I did not.
Yeah, it's I don't want to give anything away
Conan
now.
the
Then
Barbarian,
no,
that's
it's not
all I
Conan.
I have to go watch it and then
Yeah, you need to-
we got
you
to
need to
pause
check
this
out that.
episode.
Yeah. That. Also, there's a really good time machine movie that's super realistic. I think I mentioned it before on one of the podcasts, but it's called Primer. Have you ever heard of Primer?
No.
It's about these two guys that are like super smart, and they like use a storage unit to put like a time machine, and they're able to make like duplicates of themselves. But it's like very, very real, extremely realistic.
It's very raw. Like
Yeah.
the footage is so raw, and it's like they're recording it, but not like Blair Witch.
Blair Witch.
Not
yeah.
quite.
That was the
So
first
like
movie.
I'm startled.
It's
You
not.
know.
Yeah, it's not scary or anything. It's just like Very realistic. It's a little boring, honestly, but it's a cool concept.
Tired.
It's something to think about.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. Like the guy was really like studying how to transfer your consciousness from one place to another place.
That's perfect.
I mean, that's astral projection. Well, no.
Sorta.
I mean, astral projection is like, projecting yourself. It's like people that can be in their meditative zone and that wavelength, and they can put themselves like, I'm going to go over there, and they'll put themselves there. But consciousness, that's interesting. I think just even through meditation, because I went somewhere one time that I've explained on this podcast before when we were doing the float tank a lot.
Oh, the float. Okay.
Yeah, we did it like once a month, and I've always wanted to have an experience because I've heard that you can have an experience. I do meditate, not very often, but as much as I can. And that, I was somewhere else. I effing swear to God, like I was somewhere else.
Have you ever done a float?
Yes. I was about to say, can I tell you my float stories?
Yes. Tell us a float story.
So the first one, right? Okay, let me talk about something before that, because you said something that made me say, wait a minute. So I remember the first time I had edibles. Yeah, moving out to California, like it happens, right? And the first time I had edibles, it felt like I time traveled because I was standing face to face with myself.
Whoa.
Yeah, like people don't think that. Like, you ever like think about what it would be like to actually meet you, not like the reflection of you, but like you. And it was like, whoa, like I'm watching myself grow up. Like, this is crazy.
Are you saying like meet yourself at a different time of yourself? Like I imagine if I went back like 30 years, I would not know, the past me would not think this is me.
Yeah.
And so I would be able to I could potentially meet myself at a playground and like talk to myself.
Immediately a playground.
Hey, let me help you off that slide. How you doing?
Hi, Sonny.
Yeah. Getting on Megan's list.
With Craig.
But yeah, no, I met me at the age that I was meeting me. So like, for example, like 5, I met me in kindergarten. And I was high trying to explain this to my wife, and she's like cracking up. I'm like, you just don't understand what's happening right now.
Yeah, that's a trip. And that was in a float?
No. This was the edibles.
Edibles.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was when you was talking about astral projection.
Okay.
And I was like, whoa, was that what happened? But the float, the first time I did a float, they give you the little like neck pillow thing, right?
Yeah.
And the little spray bottle. So I started floating and I tried to adjust, but I wiped my eyes.
With the salt.
Yeah. So I was literally struggling for a good 10 minutes in there. And I was like, this probably looks crazy if like they had cameras in here. But obviously they can't. Because like I'm sitting there like, fighting in the dark. Yeah, butt naked in water. And then the second time, like, I really like had a conversation with myself, like kind of like, oh, we need to like dive into why you do this behavior and think about why this is and who would you speak to if you could, type of thing. And yeah, it was an interesting experience.
Yeah, you should do it as much as you can. Like we did it for like a year straight every month, and then but after like the 3rd or 4th time of doing it, like muscle memory kicks in and you start like being able to get there faster.
So it's just
unlocking.
And that's the thing too, because it's like when you think about it, you can apply that to just, hey, take this time to just relax and meditate or lay down or get yourself in, some sort of like
state
of mind. Yeah,
I'd get out of there sometimes early because I had like this revelation. I'm like, I got to make phone calls right now.
Those revelations are so serious when you float. So serious.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. And real quick, about quantum mechanics, the person we were just talking about in the shed or whatever, in quantum computers, it's all about 0 and 1 being the same. So there's like this point where there is no point. It's the gray area. And so like if you're into quantum physics, possibly, you're able to like jump, or that astral projection where you're both at one point and another at the same time, which is like quantum.
Isn't that like
mechanics?
That movie with Scarlett Johansson, Lucy?
Yeah.
Well,
she
she's,
time
like,
travels, but she's
figures
still
out-
sitting in the chair.
But it's like even was it Marvel? Someone? No, the Flash. Sorry. So the Flash, when he like goes through the wall, he has to like physically
Yeah.
separate himself.
Dematerialize.
Exactly.
I kept thinking about Nightcrawler, but yeah,
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
the Flash too.
But
Yeah. And Nightcrawler, he like like he pops over here.
So
over
he
there.
still has to, but you still have to like physically change something.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah, or in the movie The Fly, like Jeff Goldblum is able to transport from one pod to another. He's a quantum physicist, and he goes through, but accidentally a fly goes in with him, and so
Like,
he merges together.
on.
Yeah, Dude, it should have been like there's another like he.
Yeah,
I don't
like
know,
it should have been a
tracked
sensor.
it. Anyways, I'm
I guess
about to
it's the
nerd out
80s.
right
Yeah,
now.
no, it's kind of crazy because it's like that was my original major, physics and electrical engineering. And had I not found out I was funny, like I probably would have been time traveling.
Damn. Well,
Open
I mean,
mics
Because
are
you
time
know they're
travel.
doing it now. You
Yeah.
know it.
Yeah.
you could possibly utilize that information for like sometimes when you're in the scene, you're in the moment, and you're killing, like you're on fire, you're thinking on a level, or it's just coming, you're channeling, it's just coming out, and like there's this like magic moment like where you're lucid, or you're in lucid sort of. Maybe you're able to like hone that.
Don't
maybe?
hype me up now.
Yeah, I think you can do it. Yeah, if you understand, like, watch, you'll be killing it so suddenly that you just disappear. And they're like, where'd he go?
That'd be a new career
Yeah,
as a
you're-
magician.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, now, before we let you go, we met you at Solaris. You've been just consistently just killing on stage at Solaris Beer and Blendings Monday nights, and we appreciate you. I just wanted to let you know that I'm a huge fan of your work. You're doing a
thanks,
great
man.
job, and you're very professional. And we look forward to having you come back some more. Where can everybody? Do you have any special things coming up in the future that you want to put out there? This will come out next Tuesday.
Okay, so yeah, by that time, it will. By that time, the show should be announced. I got my joke and word show coming to San Diego at Mic Drop Comedy,
Sweet.
June 21st. And if the flyer is not out by the time this comes out, I'll just time travel and never say this right here for you guys.
Yeah.
I'll go into a shed in Florida just for you guys.
Yeah. Just make sure it's on Ring so we can watch it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. The Ring camera, yeah. But joke and word showcase. It'll be Mic Drop June 21st, 10 p.m. You can follow me on Instagram at joke and word. So JOKE, the letter N, word. And I post everything there, and you'll see, hey, this is the flyer that he was talking about.
Nice. Yeah. Well,
Sweet.
and then Amy, anything you want to put out there for all our viewers and listeners?
Just the use. Just catch me on IG at Shades of Despair and my website, www.abyssicreveries.com.
And
Could you spell that? Abyssic?
Abyssic. ABY.
SSIC.
SSIC. Reveries, like dreams.
Yeah. REVERIES. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then make sure you get your tickets for Comedy Fest. It's right around the corner, May 25th. $30. www.KAWmedy.comedy.com. And follow us. Follow all our work. We got a lot of stuff coming. Big plans are, everything's changing. This room's changing, and just follow our work and support us and subscribe and all that stuff. And we'll see you guys next time. Thank you again, Kellz. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah. Take care.